Hey there, Orlando here with another contemplation of the jinkies that are transiting us. It's time for the 51st jinki and the 57th jinki, and as I'm recording this video, we are in the last hours of their transit. So I'm going to record a message that was transmitted to me through them. Because this is what I do. I let the energy, I let the information pour through me and listen to its messages. I am a 13th jinki life's work, with listening. So I train myself to listen to this information, to this energy. And also I have a line 1 that is about information in the life's work. So I'm here to transmit what I've listened. And it's about guidance, how to move forward. So this is not absolute truth. This is an interpretation of the truth. So what the most important message that I've received through these two jinkis is about acting even if we have fear, even if we feel fear. How do we act when we are fearful or when there is fear all around? And in this period, with this lockdown, with this global lockdown, it is a very acute question. How do we act when we are fearful? How do we take initiative in these fearful times? But this problem we had for a long time, and we have built our society in a way that doesn't really support initiatives or supports purely mental initiatives. Because initiative, the gift of the 51st jinki, for me, is about acting by being centered, by being connected with our body, with our heart, with everything, And this means the mind and body working together. Not like a dictatorship of the mind that puts us into agitation and unease. Because when we are fearful, we feel agitation and of course we feel this unease. And we feel that things are hard, things are not clear enough. So when we act from that state, we create a bigger problem than there were before. And this is how we've acted as a society. We've put like 10% of the people to have initiative and the other 90% to just copy them or to support them. But we all have this initiative. Of course, not all people have the 51st jinki in their hologenetic profile. But we have all the jinkis in us. If we don't have, active the 51st, that maybe means we have it as a receptor. And then we learn, this, this information by living our lives. I feel that the jinkis that we don't have are the things that we learn in this life to support our active jinkis, because those are our native gifts. But I don't have the 51st jinki. That doesn't mean I don't have agitation and I don't need initiative. Oh, I have lots of agitation and lots of unease. I don't have also the 57th jinki. So I really need to learn initiative to support my active jinkis. And these two, initiative and intuition, is about really listening to our whole being. Not only listening to the mind. The mind just wants to survive. This is the primal directive. You must survive. And if we act from that place, we won't discover that place of quietness, that place of peace inside of us. But we will discover more agitation and more unease. So the trick is, or the secret is, to act from the heart. But nobody taught us. I don't know if you've been taught how to act from the heart, how to connect with your heart, how to connect with your being. And I've been educated from school to act from the mind. Yeah, I've been I've had communist, a communist education. Even if I started school in 1990, when the communist regime in Romania was overthrown. But that doesn't mean the education system changed. Oh no, it didn't. It was the same. So that system, and I've seen that even in the capitalist countries is almost the same. I've been taught to only use my mind, not to listen to the body. No, not to listen to the body, only the mind, because they knew, the communists really knew, instinctively knew, that a person that is that feels whole, that is in contact with its heart, it's very hard to control. So when you want a society that is obedient, teach them this disconnection or prevent them to connect to their heart, to their bodies. And we've been living in this kind of society for hundreds of years, and mostly in the last 200 years, 150 years, this society was full of agitation and unease. And from this agitation and unease, we've built our society. So it doesn't mean it's a bad society and we have to wreck it all and start from scratch. No. It means that each of us, we have to connect to ourselves and to put our initiative in the world, to put our hearts in the world. Because when we act from the heart, we create something that is self-sustainable. We create something that is in accordance with nature, with the whole. When we create something exclusively mentally because we're fearful, we destroy our environment. We destroy ourselves as a species. So if each of us does this and connects to his or her heart, we can take this society as it is today with all its wonders, because we've created, even with this agitation and unease, we've created something wonderful here, but we have to go to the next level. It's like evolution. If we don't go to the next level, we maybe will push the self-destruction button, because evolution really pressures us to get there, to get to that point, to get to that point that we are, in a sustainable community, in a sustainable society, and we use nature not as before or now, like we are using nature and we are exploiting nature resources, but to use nature as an ally, to be in accordance with nature. Because if we use the power of the trees, the energy, the power of the sun, the energy of the sun, the power of the oceans, the water, we'll be better off. And but to get there, we have to stop being, like only in follower mode. It's okay to be a follower. It's excellent to be. Some people are born to be, mostly in the follower position. But the follower also has initiative. Also has initiative from the heart. I can follow people that I feel are guiding me on a beneficial path for me, of course, but that doesn't mean I don't have initiative in my life and I listen to those people and word for word, because they are living their lives. No, I'm just being inspired, and I'm following their teachings like I'm following the Gene Keys and Richard Rudd and the ambassadors and the entire community, of course. So it's very important for us to really awaken, because we have the city of awakening, and this means awakening, to act from the heart, to act in accordance with the heart. And some people may ask, okay, Orlando, but how do I listen to my heart? What is intuition? Because we haven't been taught what intuition means. And if we try to understand mentally that question, we'll get into agitation and unease, and confusion and lots of other shadows. We'll get there very fast, because this is about feeling. This is about feeling, and this is about feeling centered, not really feeling good. No, feeling centered. And we have to experience life. If we haven't been taught, or we've been prevented to connect to our bodies from an early age, we have to experience life so we can connect. We have so much, I feel this, we have so much conditioning that prevents us to experience life. Like we have, religious conditioning, and we have social conditioning. And that says you have to act like this to be validated, to be accepted by the community. But if we don't have our experiences in life, we can't really connect to our heart. So we've been taught from an early age how to not experience life, to not connect to nature, to not connect to the whole, but just follow blindly the authority. We had last week, I think, the 21st, with control and authority. And the authority as a gift, because if the authority controls the others, that isn't an authority. That is a masked authority. It's a masked dictator that poses as an authority. So we really need this to connect to our hearts, to connect to our bodies, and to really feel what intuition is, and to really feel when we are in intuition. And we do this by experiencing life, by being in experiences, by fucking up. This is about learning that in life we'll fail, and it's good to accept ourselves. It's beneficial for us to accept ourselves when we are failing. So initiative is about acting, but having this ideal to act from the heart. And we will not always act from the heart. We will not always act from this stable position, this centered position. And we really have to accept, to accept ourselves and to accept this. The 25th Gene Key of acceptance is linked to the 51st Gene Key. And I feel these two are what connects our heart with our subtle bodies. The connection from the 51st with the 25th. If you know human design, you know the channel of initiative, 51st and 25th. From my contemplations, I found out that these two Gene Keys are responsible from connecting our heart energy to the subtle bodies, and of course to our body. This is why listening to the heart is so important. And this is and by experiencing life, initiating from this place of I really want to act from my heart, from my center. And if we have this ideal in us and we don't live this ideal, even if we act sometimes from the mind, we have to accept this and to understand it's our process and it takes time. No, and by doing this and having initiative, and putting ourselves out there and being vulnerable with others in our family or in our collective, in our community, and fucking up, in time we'll connect, because this is how a child learns how to connect with his or her body, by fucking up. So like a child, like 1 year old child, when that child learns how to walk, that child will fall, and it's great because that child is learning, and he's learning, he's falling down, he's rising up, he's falling down again. And initiative is like that. And if we have fear because we'll fail, we won't do anything. And we have this society where most people aren't doing anything because they're afraid of fucking up, afraid of falling. So we can't really awaken if we just sit on our couches and I don't know, meditate. This is maybe this is a bold statement. Yeah, and we can have experiences, of course, but not really awakening in this body. Maybe awakening but in this body, in integrating this experience, we can't really do that by just meditating. A full awakening is when we use all our bodies, including this one, and we have courage to experience life, and to be among people, to be to be in contact with them, because through meditation we can awaken parts of our being, but I don't feel that if we don't integrate if we don't integrate ourselves in this life, and if we are not really grounded and centered in our life, and we are not stable, like being balanced in all areas of our life, because if we are not balanced and we have areas of our life where we are under the we are in subsistence. I don't know if you have this word in English. Let me put it in Google Translate. Okay. Yeah, subsistence you have in English. When we are in that place of having a lack in some areas of our life, it's very hard to awaken, because we're going in meditation or going in our other bodies. We have out-of-body experiences, or I don't know what kind of sensations and feelings and livings we live there. But when we come back into the same lack, and it's hard. I don't say it's impossible, but it's very hard. And it takes a master to really integrate, to be well in this life, and to accept perfect acceptance. It's very hard. It's almost impossible. So full awakening and clarity, it's about the human being that is integral. Is in its own integrity. It lives here, it lives in the other dimensions. It's multidimensional being. It's not a person that renounced his or her body because it's very hard to be here. This is I feel what the Gene are teaching us, to be fully awakened human beings by walking our own path, and Gene being only the starting point to that. Yeah. So my recommendation for me and for all of us is to initiate and to have initiative, not really to initiate, but have initiative from our hearts, and then we can heal, and then we can heal our planet and our society, and we can heal humanity. and awaken through our hearts, not only through our mind, because we have used the mind so much in the last hundreds of years, and the mind needs a rest. The mind needs to collaborate with the body, and the subtle body is not just being on all the time. And but this means to be really in contact with ourselves. Yeah, this was my resume this was what I had to say about these two gene keys. And I really wish you well, and to stay healthy, and of course to have initiative even in these harsh times, because these harsh times, this lockdown period will end sometimes, and then we'll get out. What are going to initiate then? Maybe we're initiating things right now from the internet. Who knows? Yeah. Go into initiative. Go into heart mode. Heart mode on. Bye bye.